What's going on, YouTube? It's your girl AJ back with another video. Thank you for clicking on this video, for coming in, kicking it with your girl. I appreciate it. So before we even get started, you should definitely go ahead and subscribe. So hit that subscribe button. I believe it's this way. And, go ahead and like, just because, by the title, you already know what we're talking about here. And hopefully this will help you save a little money. Not necessarily me, because I have all these palettes. However, hopefully it'll help you be selective. And instead of buying all these palettes that are coming out here very soon, you can use what you might already have. So let's get into it, shall we? Looking at the pictures of the Huda Beauty palette, the Desert Dusk palette, and then I also saw pictures of the Natasha Denona Lila palette. I believe that's the name of her new palette coming out. And as you can see, those two palettes are very similar. Okay, and I say, you know what, I think I have all of those colors, if not exact dupes, very similar shades in all of my Juvia's Place palettes. So that's what I am doing for you today. I have gone through the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette and looked through all of my Juvia's Place palettes, and I'm gonna tell you which shades I think are closest to the shades in the Huda Beauty palette. Okay, and this, I'm just going off of pictures, okay, because I don't have the palette, was not able to purchase it, and I was doing this so I don't feel enticed to purchase it. So let's go. The first shade, and what I did was I went from left, or as you're watching, left to right, top, middle, last row. Okay, so we're gonna start with the top row of the Huda Beauty palette and the left side. So that first color is going to be Desert Sand. Okay, so when I look at Desert Sand, it looks like a pale tan peachy undertone, a matte. Okay, and in the Juvia's Place collection that I have, it looks like Desert Sand is most closely like Kessie. So let me show you Kessie. This, no, I'll fix that. So I can't do that anymore. I don't want to dig that. Okay, so this is Kessie. Okay, so it's that same tan kind of peachy undertone matte. Okay, so this is the Magic palette. Okay, and I surely just dug my finger into Nubia, but I'll fix that later. Okay, so Desert Sand is Kessie. Okay, so next color, just moving over, is Musk. Okay, and Musk to me looks like a it's another tan type of khaki-like matte shade, and the color that I found is most like Musk is in the Nubian palette. So this is just the original, the first palette that they came out with, the Nubian, and they don't have names on this palette. So I think Musk is most closely looks like this shade right here. Okay, so third shade in that top row of the Nubian palette, okay? All right, next color is Eden, okay? So Eden to me looks like it's another matte shade, and it is a pale peach shade, okay? So that shade is also in this palette, the Nubian, the original Nubian palette, and it is this most like this second shade, this one, okay? All right, okay, move right along. Next, Amber. So Amber to me is a warm burgundy matte shade, okay? And the shade that I think it resembles the most is a shade in the Magic palette, and it's called Koji. Where's Koji? Here we go. And even though this is probably more pink, this is Koji, where my nail is. So you can use that one, or I have another shade, or Morocco out of the Nubian 2. Okay, that same kind of warm burgundy-ish matte shade. Okay, so two options. Okay, for Amber. Okay, next color in Huda Beauty's palette is Blood Moon, and it's pretty much that same burgundy shade, but with some gold shimmer. And the color that I think it mostly resembles is in the Masquerade palette, and it's Cairo. So remember where my nail is, this is Cairo. So I know you probably can't see it, but it definitely has that gold shimmer, and it's in that warm burgundy-ish, orangish family. So Cairo, okay? And the last shade on that top row of the Desert Dusk palette is Oud, O-U-D, so I'm gonna pronounce it Oud. And it's just a warm chocolate matte color, okay? So the shade that I found is also in the Masquerade palette, and that is gonna be Zulu. So it's this warm chocolate shade right here is Zulu. Okay, so second row of the Desert Dusk palette. Remember, we're going from left to right. So first shade, and these next two shades were probably the hardest to find. So maybe they're kind of dupes and maybe they're not, but you'll see, okay? So the first shade in that second row is Celestial, and it's just a shimmery pale rose gold with gold glitter. And that color is in the Zulu palette. All right, just had to find my Zulu palette. And the Zulu palette also doesn't have names on the shades. So I'm gonna say this one, even though I think this one in the Zulu palette is more pink. There are some other shades in these palettes that might be a better match, but we're just gonna say this one for now, okay? For Celestial. Okay, next is Nefertiti. And Nefertiti to me looks like a pale tan gold with shimmer. Okay, and I said that that shade is most like a shade called Zuri in the Nubian 2. So this is Zuri, just that pale gold shade. So that one is for Nefertiti, and this is Zuri out of the Nubian 2. Okay, next shade is Twilight. Okay, and this is the color that I love and kind of inspired the look that I have on my eyes today. So Twilight is a purple shimmer with kind of blue gold duochrome type of steez going on. And that shade is close to, sorry, this shade in the Magic palette is called Faso, like Burkina Faso. Isn't that beautiful? So this is the shade that I have on my eyes. So it's that purple, bluish, reddish duochrome. And I mean, they are damn near spot on. So Twilight and Faso. Okay. Okay. And the next shade in Desert Dusk was Amethyst. And Amethyst to me is very close to this purple shade in the Zulu palette. And remember, the Zulu palette does not have names. Right here. So Amethyst in Desert Dusk, and this purple right here in the Zulu palette. Okay, that's pretty damn close, right? Right. Okay, so next one is a shade called Royal, and that's pretty much just a purple with gold sparkle. And the shade out of the palettes that I have, I think that look most like it, is out of the Masquerade palette, and that's going to be Makita. So it's another purple shade and kind of has that glitter thing happening. So Makita and the Masquerade, subbing for Royal in Desert Dusk. And last shade on the second row of Desert Dusk is called Retrograde. And pretty much to me that looked like a duochrome, like a bluish red over brown duochrome. And unfortunately I didn't find any shade in the palettes that I have that, you know, would sub for that shade. Of course you could mix some colors and probably come up with something close, but I didn't see any that was, you know, just dead on for that shade. But that's the only one that I didn't find. Okay, last row. First color in the last row is Cashmere, and I call that a true khaki tan with gold and silver shimmer. And I said that that color was closest to Giza in the Masquerade palette. So here's Giza. Just for tan, you know, true khaki tan with gold and silver shimmer or glitter. Okay. Next color is Angelic. And this color, I kept going back and forth between this shade and then the shades that I chose for Celestial and Nefertiti. But Angelic looks like a baby pink with gold and silver shimmer. And I chose a shade out of the Saharan palette for that. And that shade is Zoya. So this pink right here, okay, for Angelic. All right, next shade is Cosmo, which is just a burnt orange glitter shade. And I said that shade looks most like Morocco, but just didn't have the glitter. But Morocco out of the Nubian 2 is pretty much as close as I could get for that shade as well. Another one that you could probably use instead, well, I thought there was one, maybe not. No, never mind. And okay, next shade, Turkish Delight. And pretty much that's like a saffron red orange shade with gold glitter or gold shimmer. And there's a shade in the Nubian 2 called Ya. This one right here for Turkish Delight. Okay, and the next shade is Saffron. Okay, so Saffron is just a warm orange red matte shade, and that shade dupe is going to be in the Zulu palette. You know, Zulu doesn't have names, but we're just going to say this orange here right here. Is this the one? No, I'm sorry. This one, this reddish, even though this looks very pink on camera, in person it looks more like a reddish orange. So this one for Saffron. And then the last shade in the Desert Dusk palette is Blazing. And Blazing is just a true warm orange matte. And that is closest to this shade right here in the Zulu palette. Just this matte orange, bright orange. So, you know, I was able to get pretty darn close, except for the one shade that, you know, I could not find in my Juvia's Place collection. But that's pretty darn good, one shade. And the other 17, I think I was able to find a dupe. So I'm gonna go ahead and put all of the different shades in the description box of this video, so you don't have to watch the video again to hear what I said. So, go ahead, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't. Thanks again for watching and kicking it with your girl, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.